Hey guys, September 12th. I'm Tony. This is Emmy and Maud, who are going to join me today. September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and every day this month, I am walking 3/4 of a mile in memory of my son, Sam. We're trying to raise awareness around pediatric cancer and also raise some funds for Alex's Lemonade Stand. There's a link. That side, I don't know. I think they flipped the video, so that side. I got guests today again.
Hi.
Everybody's favorite, Emmy, and my favorite, Maud. And they were trying to figure out what we could talk about today. What'd you come up with?
We didn't.
We came up with like nothing.
Nothing. Awesome.
Except if you want to talk about
Legs?
legs.
Legs?
Legs.
What about legs? Oh, your legs hurt.
Yeah.
Emmy's doing rowing, and at rowing, I guess they run. She ran hard today, so she's complaining that her legs hurt. Well, I was, it's hot today, which is funny because I was going to talk about some of the Christmas time stuff we did in the hospital today. We spent, I know, two Christmases in hospital,
Almost.
at least.
Almost.
I remember one of them.
What do you remember?
I remember the one year where they did that thing, and then after that, all he said was, "I can't."
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was
and
after he was
I
in his
remember
coma.
all like the superheroes and the princesses coming in,
Oh yeah. Yes.
and they had like a miniature Christmas tree on the table
Yep,
with presents surrounding it.
yep. That was Christmas 2017,
Yeah.
and Sam had been in a medically induced coma for what, 2 weeks?
Probably.
And he came out on like the 20th, 21st,
Maybe.
somewhere like that.
But we got to have.
How y'all doing? So, September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and we lost our son on January 23rd. And so, I'm walking every day this month and Facebook live streaming it. The last 6 months of his treatment, we were in New York, and the distance from the Ronald McDonald House to the Cancer Center and back was 3/4 of a mile. So just every day I'm doing 3/4 of a mile, talking to these lovely folks and putting it on Facebook.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Something like that.
Y'all can find us on Facebook. We're the Pamples. I'm Tony. This is my wife Maud.
And I'm Emmy.
What
And this
block
is Emmy.
y'all in?
We're right on Gaston, the brick house, like 3 houses up from the corner.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. I'm in the house at the fountain.
Oh. fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, we were on Casa Loma and now we're Gaston. So nice to meet y'all. Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Neighbors. So yeah, he came to just before Christmas, so we had to spend Christmas in the on the 6th floor. We were in like a huge room.
Pop spent the night with him Christmas Eve.
Pops, yeah. And
But I mean, I think that happens a lot because I'm sure we mentioned before, cancer doesn't take breaks on holidays.
no. Cancer doesn't skip holidays, weekends, rainstorms.
So a lot of the times the kids are in the hospital on different holidays. And it can be tough, I think, as a family because I think especially Christmas, the one thing you want to do is be all together
Yeah.
and wake up Christmas morning together. And that's hard. And I would say there's a lot of organizations that are very generous that help make that time as best as it can be for a child if you're in the hospital, but it doesn't fix it that you're not
No,
together.
it doesn't. I mean,
But-
there's a ton of generosity that
And
time of
it's
year.
so much appreciated.
Yeah, and it was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I think every couple of days there was someone with bags and bags of toys coming by,
Which is sweet because it
which
does
helped him.
Yeah.
It engaged him and helped him like have stuff to do to want to come out of his funk as
'Cause
best he could.
I would say the first time he smiled after not being able to talk and learning not being able to walk, he just kind of had like a blank face.
Yeah,
but we
he did.
had like, I think Nerf guns, and we started
yes.
shooting Nerf guns. And that's when we finally got this like tiny little smile.
Yep, that was the
out
first
of
one
him.
for sure.
And I think it all kind of started to come back.
Piece by piece. I think he just like, I think that was so traumatizing that he just like went to a deep place.
Yeah. Maybe so.
Took a while to come back. No, but we had, so what, Santa came to visit,
Yeah.
and with Santa came a bunch of Santa's friends.
Like all
So-
these superheroes.
Spider-Man,
Batman.
a Jedi Knight, a couple of princesses, like 2 or 3 princesses,
Cinderella,
Belle,
Sleeping
and
Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. Okay, the classics, right? And so luckily we were in a big enough room to fit all of those people because they all came in. And we somewhere we have this great picture of Emmy smiling at Santa Claus and all these people, and we're all kind of sitting around the hospital bed, and Sam is
Hotel
just like
hospital.
this. He was doing he wasn't quite there yet. I remember one Christmas, we drug him around in a wagon.
It was that same Christmas.
Was that the same Christmas? We
Yeah.
did a scavenger hunt,
Yeah.
see how many Christmas trees we could count around the hospital.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember a big gigantic one in like the
I
main.
think we got
Yeah.
at least 5.
Yeah, I want to say it was 5. I saw that post the other day.
I remember 3.
I always feel bad because, like, not just the kids that are up there on Christmas Eve. Like, there's staff up there too, and nurses, doctors working, which is a bummer for everybody. Nobody wants to be there on Christmas. We're supposed to
Except
do our
for the
Make-A-Wish trip
sinuses.
right around there too, weren't we?
We did. We canceled. It had to be canceled.
Yeah, we had to cancel the Make-A-Wish trip. Postpone. But yeah, we were supposed to go to Disney World right after Christmas or for
No,
Christmas?
right before.
Right before. And so we postponed that.
But we got to go again.
Yeah, we went Thanksgiving the next year. That probably
Great.
deserves its own conversation in a
Yeah.
walk. That was an amazing trip.
Ooh, I remember. I think in that same year, 2017, we got the spider ball table.
Yeah.
Oh, for Christmas?
And I remember crawling under it because, like, looking at all the presents. And I sort of separated them all into piles.
What was your sorting? Why'd you sort them that? Was it like these
no
are Sam's,
presents
these are
on-
mine?
No presents on top of each other's.
Okay.
Because I wasn't the best at sorting.
But like, were you like
Like-
socks and underwear go over here, shaking them, trying to figure out what it was?
Okay, here's the gigantic Barbie doll, and here's the tiny little stuff. But I do remember, I was like, man, Sam would really like to play the spider ball table when he comes back.
And he did.
We did. It was
A lot
fun.
of fun with Spider Ball.
Yeah, especially on the coast.
But I think what you can maybe take away from that is that it's not always the cancer that is like a lot of the side effects.
Yeah.
Or all
I
the
mean,
other stuff
He spent the treatment.
too. Because at that point he was in remission, and we were on antibody treatment.
Yeah. He
So you
spent
would
more time in
expect-
remission and like not in pain because of tumor growth. But like the pain was caused, the tumor was shrunk by the treatment small enough to not be causing him pain and eventually not be seen, but like the treatments were still going on to get rid of the rest of it. Because the one thing we know about neuroblastoma is it's like a sneaky cancer. Everything looks like it's working on it, and then it comes back. And it did that for Sam multiple times.
Yay, so fun.
Yeah, so fun. And get you back on the sidewalk, so you'll have to stay in frame.
It's so bright.
But yeah, the pain and stuff for him other than the couple times when he relapsed. Like, the only time he had tumor pain was right when he relapsed every time.
Yeah.
Because after that, we'd get him into treatment and it would shrink and not cause pain. But there was so much pain and nausea and other stuff from the treatments that,
That was probably the hardest, right?
yeah.
When he was at home and he was hurting,
Oh
he would scream in the middle of the night.
yeah. I remember being at a Central Marketplace when we thought he didn't have cancer. He was super cold. And then,
Oh, that was
so-
port infection.
Yeah, you were with Coco,
I was.
and Mommy and Daddy were gone, and
And
we got
then,
this call.
so Coco, me and Sam went home. And then later he threw up.
Yeah. So that was the night of Maud had a fundraiser for her school. And that was, what were we doing the flushes for?
You're getting ready for maybe
I think we were getting ready for stem cell.
because he didn't
Yeah,
have the,
he had the different thing in there. So he had a
the
Broviac.
technical term.
Yeah, he had a Broviac,
That hangs.
which was 2 straws or 3 coming out of his chest that like dangled out, in addition to his Metaport. And we had to flush that every day, right? I think so.
I don't know.
And so, right before we went to Maud's thing, I flushed it. And, you know, sure enough, I'm sure that I didn't get it clean enough or something. And he got an infection. And I mean, it took, you and I left. We hadn't been there half an hour when we got the phone call. And Emmy, tell him what. So you guys went to the store.
We went to Central Market,
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Yep.
So I remember being like, ooh, I want a piece of fruit. And then when I was over getting fruit with Sam, Sam started complaining about being super cold. And it wasn't really that cold, but stores are cold. And so we went back to Coco.
Coco is Emmy's grandmother.
And a few minutes later, we went home because he was complaining about it a lot, and he said that he started hurting. And then we called you guys.
Yeah, and thank goodness. She called us immediately. Came home.
You rushed.
I rushed home while you got your stuff taken care of. And he was already up at 102.
Yeah, you just grabbed him and went to
And
the hospital.
I immediately took him to the hospital. And I want to say he spiked that night at 105 or something or higher.
It was high.
It was really high. I think that's when we had the Broviac removed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
a Broviac?
A
Because they
Broviac
couldn't get it
was
clean.
one of the, not the Metaport that was under the skin, but the one where he had the straws hanging out of his chest. Do you
Was
remember
it the
that?
one that had 2 holes?
Yes. That had the 2 lumens hanging out.
Yeah.
That one was a bummer because you couldn't swim or do anything with that. Couldn't bathe. We had to put Press Seal on him every time he wanted to take a shower.
Yeah, you just put Press-N Seal, the tape around it. Then tell him, okay, now you can go get wet.
Which that never really worked. Stupid Press Seal.
Press-N Seal still doesn't really work.
No.
It doesn't
not.
work in packaging sandwiches.
Sure it does sometimes.
Well,
But it's
away
not
from
great, not great for
raccoons.
showering.
Press it. But then remember the other tubes that came out of his neck during stem cell?
That's the apheresis catheter. Yeah, that was like soda straws out of his neck. That was weird. Because he would, they didn't dangle like the other ones. They were kind of flexible, but they would stick up, and when he'd run, they'd boing, boing, boing.
didn't have to have those
most of the
long.
time they had to be taped, but yeah, he didn't have them for long. Like a week or 2?
Oh, no,
Longer?
a couple days.
Oh, okay.
Because it was just when they were gathering his stem cells.
Gathering stem cells, yeah, which only took
Which
us
is-
3 days.
Cool that they can do that.
Yeah.
And
I don't
Still
get
got
how
'em
y'all
somewhere.
remember all this.
if
It comes back in
any of
pieces.
us need it.
I don't remember it very well.
No?
I try, but I keep telling them every time I tell a story, I get home and I remember all the things I forgot. You gonna walk all the way up into it?
That one's tired of walking in the grass.
Well, you gotta walk. You gotta stay in frame. I love when they come with, because I can mess with them. And I need to walk faster.
Yes. New York walking.
Oh, New York walking.
Walk
See-
with a
Did you
purpose.
see John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever? I'm trying to think, what other Christmases did we have?
See, we need a dog.
And across the street.
No, because we're gonna turn up here. We can go out into the street or just walk around. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How are y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
And then this past Christmas, it was just kind of like on either side. He was there
Yeah.
for a little bit before. We're actually home for Christmas.
We had an amazing Christmas.
And
Last
then-
Christmas, I got a comfy chair. Sam got a little like
He got his hanging pod.
Yep.
hanging tent thing.
Hanging pod
And
sleep.
Ben got a camper. Gunner got a
Everybody got something.
bow and arrow
And
thing.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
I don't think.
I think Asher got a skateboard. Another one.
This last Christmas was really nice because all of my family came in. So like Dan and Val, my brother and his wife and their boys were in town. My parents were here. We got to spend it all together. You could tell though he was feeling low because he would try, but he would peter out real quick. But we got to see everybody, and we don't get all together very often anymore. We're all spread out across the country. But yeah, and he was, he had an okay New Year's Eve. He was there, but he was kind of curled up in a ball a lot of it. And then on January 2nd, January 1st? No, I think it was the 2nd, we went into the hospital. Whoa! Don't worry, nobody saw that, except for the thousands of people who are gonna watch this.
Well, let's just say that happens a lot. I mean, like you cut your finger on glass, you stub your toe, you trip on anything.
Anyways.
object.
And you got that gene from your mother.
I got that gene from both of them.
I don't fall. Nobody's ever seen me drop the selfie stick.
I've seen you fall, and I bet you I could trip.
Let's see, yeah. So there was Christmas 2017. What happened? What was Christmas 2018? That was just a good one in remission, right?
Yeah, just I think we spent it in San Antonio.
Yep.
Cocoa and Pops.
The pickle
Yeah.
game, I got a Target gift card with $15 on it.
That's
The
right.
little
You
things.
won the pickle game.
I think that's when y'all got you got your electric scooter and Sam got his little
The wild thing.
360
Yep.
wild thing.
If you're gonna
And
talk,
he
you have
got-
to stay close to me so you can be on the camera.
He got the dinosaur chair and his Alexa. And
Yeah.
I remember him sitting in that dark room listening to his Alexa in the chair.
Oh yeah.
Which is probably to be mentioned because since he
Yeah.
got that Alexa in 2018, anytime we had to stay at the hospital, he brought it with him.
That's one thing that we haven't really talked about was the stuff that we would set up in the hospital room.
The Alexas.
We were really good at the hospital room. So the Alexa would come so he could listen to music, and he loved to listen to music.
So with some Legos.
And Sam had really good taste in music too. Both of my children have very good taste in music. But like he'd be in there jamming out to the Beatles, some Harry Belafonte. What else?
Any of it, all of it.
All of it. And the nurses would come in and be, I want to stay in here. We'd have a lot of times we'd have the PlayStation hooked up. So when we were in Cook's, they had rough TV. It wasn't great. So what he and I did was we hooked up the PlayStation, and I got a little projector, and we hung a sheet at like the head of the bed, and then he and I would flip around and put our feet where the heads are and incline the bed with the feet up so we could sit there, and we would lay there and play PlayStation on the big screen. And so that kind of became a thing after that, was taking the PlayStation with us and having it on the TV so he could play it. from wherever he was.
I remember Cammy and Sam playing the Milk the Cow game on Nintendo Switch.
On the Switch, yeah. And then all of a sudden nurses were dropping by to play Switch for a little while. That was fun.
It's fun. Yeah, that was a bunch of sweet friends who all went in together and got that
Yeah,
farm one
yeah.
year.
That was EDDC parents, right?
Yeah.
That was, yeah. Thank you guys. But yeah, you know, in between the treatments and in between the pain, there's just a lot of time to kill in the hospital. And especially, you know, they tried to put his scans as early in the morning as they could because he had to be sedated for every scan, but he couldn't eat. And a lot of times as early in the morning as possible meant 10, 11, sometimes as late as 1 or 2 in the afternoon
Those were
if
the
things
worst.
got behind. And so,
And it was like if you woke up and like you weren't ordering breakfast or hadn't already ordered breakfast,
oh my God.
he was gonna have something done.
Yeah.
And he was frustrated.
Yeah, he could tell. If breakfast wasn't coming, he knew something was something was up. The worst, those are the worst, like the surprise ones.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, good news,
He's
we're gonna get a
asleep.
scan a day early.
The nurse comes in the night and says, "Oh hey, by the way, can't eat anymore." Yeah.
Remember when he did I forgot what they were, but they were the scans stuff. And then after, he always got strawberry donuts.
That
That's
was his radiation. Yeah, we'd actually stop on the way there and get the radiation, or get the donut
And
for
then
after
he got
radiation. And like he would be eating halfway done with his donut before he actually opened his eyes coming out of the sedation. I told
I
them the
say
story
you
about
get
him
him
trying to
a
eat my
peanut.
hand.
Oh yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I mean the hospital rooms, all of them were pretty. It was nice because except for up in New York, there was always one person to a room.
Yeah.
Um,
And let's face it, I mean, the amenities are nice. There's a place for a parent to sleep.
yeah.
There's room for really 2 parents to sleep if you need to. Like there's food that can be ordered, a television with what you need. Like, I don't think we were ever in any a window. Sometimes the window was like, he made me cry one time because I come out of, I think I was in the restroom or I was on the phone or something, and I come out and he's pulled the chair and scooted his IV pole over to the window so he could look out the window, and he's singing Three Little Birds out the open window. And then right after that, one of the nurses comes in and says, "Did y'all open the window? This is a negative pressure room. You got our alarm. You're setting off all the alarms." But he was just singing to himself. I have a picture of that somewhere. I'll try to find it and post it for you guys.
I sing to
Um,
myself sometimes.
We're coming up on it, guys. We really appreciate it. Just a reminder, today and tomorrow, any and all donations through the Alex's Lemonades, any of the donations over the next couple days, I know you guys have already donated, but if you share this, maybe we'll catch a couple more people. Anyway, hey, words cannot express how grateful we are for all of you and the help. So thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great weekend.